Hello everyone. My name is Anna, but I'm gonna go by Musing Mind here. This is my second video so far. I'm currently gonna talk a little bit about the topic of who you are, who I am, who am I, if that makes sense. Who am I? I think that's a problem that sometimes we all have with, trouble we have in our head. We sometimes have an issue defining who we are. Who are we? Who are you? Do you know who you are? How do you define yourself? Sometimes we have trouble because we have a lot of expectations that are put on us by other people, and I think we, as I said in another video, we internalize that and sometimes we make it our own, and we have trouble throughout our adult lives. We start having these issues like, who am I? Why am I doing these things that I don't want to do? Why am I following or friends with these people that I don't want to be friends with? Or, I wanted to read a quick excerpt, and I thought it was really interesting because during this full moon, I've done a lot of reflecting and a lot of thinking, and, I had a lot of motivation to do another video. Again, to whoever it goes out to, whoever it resonates with, whoever feels this message, it's because it was meant for you. And I just wanted to share a little bit of myself to see if, I know that sometimes others feel this way as well. So I'm going to read this real quick. I've always been a bit of a poetic soul. I don't tend to share it that much, but I'll go ahead and share a little bit of what I wrote. It's not really a poem, but it's just a bit of writing I did in a moment where I was in a dark state of mind. Sometimes I don't know who I am, if I'm meant to be here or not, if I'm a good person or not, and why isn't life easier than this? I guess what I mean to say is perhaps more along the lines of, why can't I make things more simple for myself? There are days and moments that I feel nothing but joy, where things are easier, where smiling is effortless. And then the rest is gray and passenger. The rest consists of mental chaos and borderline torture. I wish to love myself, but I can't. To forgive myself. And for what? What wrong did I do to hate myself this way? Perhaps hating something is easier than accepting its faults. And that's what I feel. Like my entire existence is an error. There's some kind voice in me, a strong voice that sometimes soothes me. But in the end, the whisper undoes me faster and easier than the fierce roar can aid me. Maybe one day I won't feel like that anymore. All I can do is keep trying. Keep going. I wish someone or something could silence that voice forever. I wish I could. And then later on, for some reason, and I didn't notice this, but I went back. I don't know if you can say what it says right there. It says, one day you will. And I went back and I wrote that after writing this. Like, I remember I reread this at another point in time. And I wrote this, one day you will. And it's funny because this has been a year for a lot of changes for me. Like, I've just felt like I'm finally understanding myself and the nature of the world and just like a bunch of stuff. And I feel like it's just kind of like happening for a lot of us. Maybe we're coming into a much more conscious shift. Like, we're understanding what we really want. We're understanding to listen to ourselves and our heart's desire. We're really understanding that where the right sacrifices need to be made, because this is really a lot about sacrifices and focus and understanding that in order to get what we want deep down, we need to focus on it with like 100% fury. I had an incident today where my son Ulrich, he's my 4-year-old. He's a funny little guy, all right? He's really smart, but a lot of people would say that maybe, oh my gosh, I remember my mom when he was younger, she used to traumatize me with thinking, he doesn't really look at you. He doesn't really pay attention when you talk to him, And I realized as he grew up, because now he talks, it's not like he doesn't interact with you. He loves people. He, is super fun. He loves his friends. He likes going to school and everything. He's been learning so much in school. It's crazy. You watch these kids grow, and, the teacher today says, yeah, he has a little bit of trouble, because the principal or whatever, she was like, yeah, sometimes he has a little bit of trouble. He doesn't really listen to us sometimes. I mean, he might, I don't know if there's anything you can do. Like, he'll do what you're saying, but he'll say no. And the other teacher, another teacher, the one who actually teaches the class, because I know when I walk in and I see her, she's the one who's, with the group of kids and teaching them about numbers, and I think there was wrong pumpkins today, whatever. Point is, she told me, yeah, sometimes he gets distracted and stuff, but I just keep going with the lesson, and a good amount of times he'll usually just come back to what I'm doing. He just gets distracted and stuff, and he knows that I have a schedule, and half the time he already wants to go to the next thing that we're supposed to do. So the point in this is, my son is very in tune with what he wants to do and what he does not want to do. And I don't necessarily view that as a bad thing. He still has a great capacity for learning. And I think that that's what society, in a sense, squashes in us. I mean, I'm not saying like, oh, it's a great plan. I'm not going to get into that. But I'm just saying that conditioning and what we do to children, we put them in this box. We make them think that they have to adhere by these rules and stuff, when really the only thing you have to do is, at the end of the night, be okay with yourself and how you've treated others. That's all you have to do. Everything else just falls into place as long as you're okay with yourself. And we all know, like I said in the other videos, we all know what's good and bad. We all know innately that what hurts us. We all know what hurts somebody else. We get that feeling that we've hurt somebody. We get that in our throat when we say something we shouldn't have said. That's all of us interacting. It's all of our organs. It's all of our body, our chakras, everything telling us what we did was wrong. And we know it. We can put these excuses up and whatever, and we can also forgive ourselves, because we're all human. Anyway, what I mean to say is, I think it's a time for us to really reconnect with what principles we have. Like, my son, despite being a distracted fool or whatever, he knows when he hurts somebody. Like, one time he accidentally hit this little girl in the face. God, what a fool. Anyway, but you could tell that he felt bad. That's what the teacher, even the principal was like, you can tell that he felt bad. There are some kids, they just stare at you blank face like, what did I do, bitch? What did I do, bitch? But and I made him go apologize and everything. And even the teacher, she actually said, thank you for doing that. Thank you for taking your son back and making him apologize, because not that many parents do that. And that comes with a responsibility. It's making a child or a person accountable for their actions. But I didn't even have to, hardly. You understand? Like, I made him do that because that's the correct thing to do, is to apologize when you do something wrong. That's what we're impelled to do. That's why we have that lump in our throat. I'm telling you, that's why we get that. It's because we know that there's something that's left unsaid. We know that there's still an apology that we want to give. We still, there's a change that we want to make. So I want him to learn, because he already knew what was wrong. She told me that when he went in there, after she pulled him out of everything, for hurting her and whatnot, he knew. He was like, no, why did I hit her? He was like, no, why did I do that? And he was already upset about it. When I got there, he was super serious. Like, mama, don't play. So, I made him go apologize and everything. And she told me, I think this is going to be a turning point. I think he's going to really, because children, the problem with children, especially children who have a lot of independence, a lot of children, and not just children, humans were brought up very independently, like too independently almost, because there has to be, the problem is we're realizing we have to have a balance, We're understanding that there has to be a balance between what we want, how much we're willing to give, how much we're receiving. This is all balance. Just like, there's, light and dark. There can't be too much light, because then you don't, you know, it just has to be balanced. Like, there's evil things, there's going to be good things. But anyway, innately, I think we all want to take care of each other. We all have that sense of unity because we all are connected. So anyway, so back to what we're saying. Children, I think children honestly know who they are. They understand who they are. They are in touch with that part of themselves. That's why when we're young, we're like, yeah, we want to be this. We want to be that. And when we go back and think about that as a child, and even think about that as an adult, we're like, yeah, we could still do that. I would totally want to be a fucking astronaut. Hell yeah, I'd be a veterinarian assistant. Like, whatever, you know? It's just, when you think about it as an adult, it still resonates with you, because that child knew what it wanted, and you know what you want. You just, unfortunately, due to circumstances and life and other people and blah, 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 we have these barriers in front of us. But so going back to, who are you? Who are you, and who do you want to be? How do we define ourselves? We define ourselves through this. Or how do we define anything? Let's go back to, how do we define anything? How do I define this rock? How do I define this rock? This labradorite, by the way, if you don't know what that is. How do I define this rock? It is a constant state of being. We know that this rock is always going to be this way. It's going to have this kind of Chatoyancy, yes. Shout out to Kieran, he was the one who may remember that word, chatoyancy. It's always going to have a form of chatoyancy. It's always going to have this certain amount of minerals in it. It's always going to have like this consistency, this hardness. It has these supposed, metaphysical properties, and even if you don't believe in that, it's still always going to look this way physically. Well, we'll talk about, if you only think about this is all there is, well, there's an issue. But anyway, so how do I define myself? Myself is a constant state of being. I'm not just my body, it's my action. Because we as humans are living, breathing things. We have to move. We're all moving. Existence is movement. Energy is movement. Okay? Light is movement. Everything is a vibration. So going back to that, the thing that I do the most, the physical activities that I do the most, like if I say I'm a mother, right? I'm a mother. But am I a mother? Do I mother 24 hours a day? You get what I'm saying? Like, not 24 hours. I mean, we all need to sleep. We all need to. By the way, if you're a mother and you're not sleeping, you need help. Go get yourself a babysitter or something. Get some sleep, because I know what it's like. I have 3 sons, okay? You need sleep. Everybody needs to nurture themselves before they can nurture properly. So yeah, I'm a mom, but do I get up every day and take my baby to school? Do I make sure that they look good? Do I make sure that they're fed? Do I make sure that they don't want for anything? Am I a mother? Am I a spouse? Am I a good friend? Am I there for the person even when they don't have anything? Am I there for the person even if I, am jealous of what they have? Am I there for them when they are acting a fucking fool? Do you still stick with them? Do you still try to get them out of there? Do you still tell them like, hey, I'm still here, by the way. I'm still here, right here for you. But that's what I'm saying. Like, do I have that consistency in my actions? Am I constant with this thing? If I say that, oh, I'm an athlete, do I love, am I a writer? Do I write every day? Do I write the things that I say? That's the thing. How do you want to define yourself and do those actions? Do you want to be a lover? Learn to love. Love properly. Do you want to be a fighter? Train your body. Do you want to be able to help people? Go to school and help people. You know what I'm saying? Like, take those actions. Do you just want to be able to get up out of bed the day and just, take a shower to feel better and look pretty? Then do it. Do it. That's the beauty of being a human being. Even if it's a small action towards doing exactly what you want to do, exactly what you want to portray, then do it. Don't let that doubt, those other people, those other thoughts get in the way. because when we were children, we didn't let other people get in the way. The teacher tells me he kind of has trouble paying attention, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, because I got to be strict with him at home. I have to be like, hey, you do what I'm saying. Hello, I'm right here. Because we have our own will. We have our own desires. We have those things that we were meant to learn in this life. We have those things that we love, that we're passionate about, that we want to construct. My son, he's a builder. You know what? We offered him so many different costumes for Halloween. I tried to give him a dragon, this, that, Batman, like superheroes up the butt. He wanted to be a construction worker. And I thought it was great. I thought it was beautiful. Just that pure, desire to build, because he loves Legos. He loves, obsessed with Minecraft. I'm trying to like veer it a little bit. So I'm happy that he went with construction worker, because I did even mention Minecraft at the store. But anyway, the point is, we kind of all come into this world having that sense of security, and some of us don't. And I'll tell you why you don't, is because, I have a theory. That would be the more proper way of saying it. I have a theory about people who do not have that sense of security in who they are, even when they're little. And you know why that is? Because you were parametered too much as a child. You were told, no, this is not what you're supposed to do. This is blah, blah, blah. No. You have to like this. 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 Instead of just kind of, and now we're getting into an era where we're understanding as parents, as humans, that even children have a preference for a reason. They have thoughts. They're little people. They're conscious. They understand what they like. Even my 4-year-old can make it super clear. My 1.5-year-old can make it super clear. You know what I mean? I didn't understand it that well until I had my own children, until I carried my own kids. And even when they talk about the pregnancies being different, like, it's basically like you can tell their personalities from there. It's just absurd. But reconnect to that sense, and if your parents put you in that, then learn to find that voice. When I talked about in that part, that little writing that I did, when I talked about that voice that sometimes soothes you, the voice that tells you, and you absolutely know that voice is telling you the truth, that that's the voice, that if you follow that advice, you're not going to have a single strand of regret towards it. Go for it, because if you're choosing to do, and almost always that choice is going to be good. I don't think we ever have a choice in front of us where we're like, oh man, I have to choose between this and this, and I know this is going to hurt somebody more, this is going to hurt somebody less, but it's, better in the long run. Like, it's just, we know which option we're going to have more regret with. And I'm telling you that the option that really hurts is going to be the bad one, is going to be the one that hurts most people. Because we unconsciously already are thinking about the connection we have with other people. We are humans. We're meant to have social connections. We are meant to connect, spiritually and emotionally and physically with other people. But sometimes, because of certain conditioning and stuff like that, I believe that it tends to be stunted sometimes, But it is also in you to recognize that pattern within yourself and take whatever action it is that will work for you. Some people choose stones, some people choose to think of a thought in a stone and believe that it has a certain power, but in the end it is you telling, not only can it have its own power, because me personally, I do kind of believe that, but in a sense, it's whenever you look at it, you remember that, no, this is my true voice. This is me consciously choosing the action and the way that I want to be. And when you look at it, you're going to remember, this is what I want to be. And it's going to remind you to choose the voice, choose the path that your higher voice is telling you to take. That's that clear voice. The problem is we have all those nasty voices from outside coming in and chewing that up and intoxicating the inside of our skull and our words and everything. So all of that is relevant to your well-being, you know? Sorry, I got a hair there. I don't know. It's all this hair that I have. Anyway, all of that is relevant to your well-being. All of that is important for you to understand within yourself, to see that, hey, I really am being more negative because I know that what I did was the best that I could do. Forgive yourself, you know? Let go of what you did and just learn, you know? But anyway, remember that we have a choice to be who we are. The who I am is defined by us. You get it? It's defined by the actions you consistently choose. I choose to get up every day and devote my day to my family. You know, I choose to get up, and now I'm trying to devote some of my time to anybody else out there that needs to feel like they're part of a family, because we are all part of a family. We're all connected. We're all connected in one way or another. You know, and even if you don't think it, you know that deep down you feel it. You feel it. When somebody tells you that they care about you, it matters. It matters. So make the choice to at least try to make the conscious effort to go out there and take those actions that you want to take. If you want to go out there and get a new haircut because you think it's going to make you look beautiful, go out there and get the new haircut, you know? If you want to go out there and give a bum money on the street because you feel that, hey, whatever, I'm just going to give him money because maybe it'll help him get a meal, and somebody criticizes you because me, fuck them. Fuck them. If you want to go and slide on a fucking slide with your kid or you know, whatever, just take the opportunity to do that. If you want to be a fun person, have fun. If you want to be funny, let yourself be funny, because we can all be funny. Humor is situational. It just takes that person to point it out. I've met everybody I know has some spark of humor in them. You know, nurture yourself. Nurture the parts that you want. So I hope this helps somebody at least. I'll probably have more videos at some point just talking about advice in general about life, maybe, that if you feel like you're holding yourself back. And just one of my biggest suggestions would be write stuff out. Write stuff out. It doesn't have to be anything special. It can be a journal. It can be just a little notepad that you keep. Just write stuff out, and then a year, 2 years from now, you're going to go back to that and you're going to read it, and you're going to be like, I've grown from there. Take the time to nurture yourself, and you're going to go back just like I read that. Now I understand that it was all in me, you know? I did have the power to stop those bad voices, you know, through a lot of work and a lot of effort and a lot of conditioning of my own. But what I mean is, you do have that power within you. You do. And I hope that you see that and recognize it, you know, it's within your power to do so. So it's just some food for thought. And I relate it to children because I think that's what they mean when, you know, when we talk about inner child work or going in your past and stuff like that, it just means realizing that other people's conditioning can cloud who we know we are. And I don't really think that many of us are bad people. I think that some might be predisposed. I do believe, nature and nurture. I do think that both of them have a certain balance. I do think that one can offset the other, perhaps. But I feel that usually nurture will win. You know, if you've been in a nurtured environment, it will show, and you haven't, it will show. But it's time to nurture yourself. You know, it's time to take responsibility for that and realize that there are people around you who love you, more than likely, and appreciate them. Anyway, I appreciate you guys watching. If you like it. If you don't, go spend time elsewhere. I love you all, and I hope that at least it helps somebody in whatever way, you know? Just take that action, one step at a time. That's all that matters. Love you guys.